Kevin Frey in our Washington, D.C. bureau spoke to the people in charge of this effort and joins us now with a closer look. Good evening, Kevin.
Yeah, good evening, Earl. One of the folks in charge is Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, who, of course, is the top Democrat in the U.S. House. And he has actually been speaking to some of his colleagues, he tells me, in places like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, you know, typical battleground states. And one of the things they stress to him is the importance of having buy-in from the governor, of working in a coordinated fashion. And so here we are with a coordinated campaign.
On the heels of a political earthquake in New York, the state's Democrats are regrouping.
I have never seen this level of cooperation and coordination in my time in electoral office.
Launching a coordinated campaign to get every candidate on the ballot next year and the operatives supporting them on the same page as they seek to reverse the Republicans' surprising gains in the reliably blue state last November. The theory is that Democrats will perform far better by working cooperatively on everything from mobilizing voters to messaging, instead of having each candidate simply working alone.
It lifts up the entire Democratic brand. It helps the first-time candidates with how do you get your message out.
The initiative is spearheaded by Governor Kathy Hochul, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, and Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. The latter two are on the ballot next year. The trio and their teams talking regularly and raising money. One early effort, hosting a call last month for hundreds of local party leaders, union officials, and supporters. Gillibrand offers one example of how the initiative could work in practice.
When I'm sending out a mailer, maybe that mailer will have me plus the House candidate running in this district along with a assembly member and a state senator. And we do one mailer on the same message, so you can really do strong message discipline.
Something like that hasn't existed before?
Not for federal candidates.
A major goal is winning the 6 congressional seats on Long Island, in the Hudson Valley, and the Syracuse area that President Joe Biden carried in 2020, but Democrats lost in November. Those results contributing to the GOP winning control of the U.S. House. Defending Democrat Pat Ryan's hotly contested district in the Hudson Valley also is a priority.
This is an all-hands-on-deck moment.
Jeffries is a major force behind the campaign, reflecting his growing influence in state and national politics after being elected House Democratic leader. Of course, major gains in his home state could help to make Jeffries the next speaker. The launch of the coordinated campaign also follows the resignation of Governor Andrew Cuomo amid scandal. During Cuomo's reign, the state party often was accused of putting Cuomo's needs first. In an interview, Jeffries praised Hochul, saying she's changing the paradigm.
You never saw this sort of outreach when Cuomo was governor?
I've never seen this sort of outreach when anyone was governor, even though they always indicated a willingness to be helpful to the congressional delegation.
When it comes to Hochul's involvement in this, she did not do as well as she could have in the 2022 election. Why entrust her as a centerpiece of this operation?
Well, one of the things that makes this particular governor and lieutenant governor instrumental in our efforts is that they both were former members of Congress who served in the House of Representatives. As members of the delegation, we trust Kathy Hochul and we trust Antonio Delgado.
Last year's losses prompted criticism of the state party's chairman, Jay Jacobs. Some called for his ouster. That said, the coordinated campaign is formally housed in the state party, which is now advertising for operatives to help staff the effort. Jeffries says Chairman Jacobs has been cooperative.
Should this coordinated campaign be seen as somewhat of an end run around the state party apparatus?
Throughout states across the country, there are coordinated campaigns that are highly functional between the state Democratic Party and the local congressional delegation political apparatus. It just has never existed in a meaningful way in New York State.
To put a finer point on this, are you taking over the state political operation?
No. I have enough responsibilities in Washington, D.C., here at home, representing a district, helping to raise money across the country, to in any way want to take over the New York State Democratic Party.
Now, Errol, it goes without saying that this, of course, only underlines how important New York is expected to be heading into next year. And Democrats are also already taking other avenues here. I should say the larger Democratic Party nationally, with the DCCC, which is the House Democrats' campaign arm, already going after the Republicans in some of those competitive districts, and the House Majority PAC, which is affiliated with House Democrats, introducing a $45 million investment in New York to help back up Democrats. Errol?